Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 25th March 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, all of you please note we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. You might be knowing it is a highly expensive training course, but we are providing complete free training and all the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. At our channel homepage, you click on the tab Posts to access the training videos. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. Click on the Community tab, then you get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course YouTube playlist. I kept all the training lessons in this playlist. You just scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one, but according to my training instructions mentioned at our Telegram channel. I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. So join at our Telegram channel. At the top of the window, you can find pinned messages. One of the pinned messages are having all the training instructions. Learn this course according to those training instructions. Definitely, you will become a very good independent trader in the coming months. Please make use of this opportunity. Okay, now I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. Okay, first I will generate the stocks near demand and supply zone starting with the yearly time frame. For yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 3 stocks. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. So I request you pause the video, study the report and then proceed to the next reports. In case if you don't understand the structure of this report, I request you complete the training lesson 21.1. That is part 1 of lesson 21. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values and abbreviations in detail. Okay, next yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next time frame is half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone. We got 1 stock. Next half yearly time frame, stocks near half yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next half yearly time frame, price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. We got 4 stocks. Next, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Okay, next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone. We got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near quarterly supply zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. We got first 23 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 31 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA Confluence. Let's filter further. In the EMA Confluence at quarterly time frame, selecting the filter quarterly demand zone with quarterly EMA Confluence, and at the same time trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So we got 16 stocks. All these 16 quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA Confluence. Okay, next quarterly time frame. Price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. quarterly time frame, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Let's verify out of the 6 how many quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So we got 3 stocks. These 3 quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Okay, this is about quarterly time frame, and the next time frame is a monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 2 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 12 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 28 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on quarterly demand zone having, monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 9 stocks. These 9 monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence, and current price closed inside the monthly demand zone. Okay, next, monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. We got multiple stocks, so first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 25 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence. And trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So now we got 17 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks are filtered. So Nifty is inside monthly supply zone. And this monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. Okay, this is about monthly time frame. This is about monthly time frame, and the next time frame is a weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. We got 18 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 18 stocks are filtered. Okay, next. Stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 17 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks are filtered. Okay, next. Price closed inside the weekly demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Let us check out of these 10 how many are having weekly EMA confluence. At weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got only 2 stocks. These 2 weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence, but both are pierced zones. Okay, next, weekly time frame. Price closed inside the weekly supply zone. We got 58 stocks. Scrolling the list down. So total 58 stocks. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence. At weekly time frame, setting the filter weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, now the list is come down to 30 stocks. So first 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 30 stocks are filtered. Okay, this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame is daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near the daily demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Out of these 12, how many are having these are the stocks near the demand zone. Yeah. Let us identify high liquidity demand zones from this list. MGL is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. PEL is having a daily high liquidity demand zone. Titan is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. So total we identified 3 high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Okay, next for daily time frame, let us find the stocks near to the daily supply zone. We got 11 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Bajaj Finserv is having a highly daily liquidity supply zone. REC Limited is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We have identified 2 daily high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay, next. Price closed inside the daily demand zone. We got 20 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 20 stocks. We can further filter based on daily demand zones having daily EMA confluence. And also trend on the daily should not be sideways. Can be up or down. With these filters, we got 9 stocks. Price closed inside the daily demand zone, and those daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Okay, next daily time frame, price closed inside the daily supply zone. We got 66 stocks. So total first 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. Total 66 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on daily supply zones having daily EMA confluence. Let's filter. Daily time frame, daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence filter is enabled, and also trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 13 stocks. Price closed inside the daily supply zone, and these daily supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence. Okay, this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. Total 28 stocks are filtered. Okay, next. Stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 17 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity zones from this list, 75 minutes demand zones. Bank of Baroda is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Birla Soft is having a high liquidity zone. Havels is having a high liquidity zone. LIC is having a high liquidity zone. Prestige is having a high liquidity zone. Supreme Industries is having a high liquidity zone. Syngene is having a high liquidity zone. Tata Communication is having a high liquidity zone. That's it. We have identified 8 high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Okay, next, for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near to the 75 minute supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones. Now, we don't have any 75 minutes high liquidity supply zones in this list. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Next, stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 20 stocks are filtered. Let us further filter this list based on 15 minutes demand zone having confluence with 75 minutes demand zone. So I am enabling the filter 15 minutes demand zone confluence with 75 minutes demand zone. With this filter, out of 20, we got 8 stocks. So all these 8 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Okay, next, for 15 minutes time frame, stocks near 15 minutes supply zone, we got 5 stocks. Out of these 5 15 minute supply zone, how many are having confluence with 75 minute supply zone? Let us verify. So 15 minutes supply zone confluence with 75 minutes supply zone filter is enabled. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. These 4 supply zones, but third one is PRs, we can ignore it. So they are overlapped with 75 minutes supply zone. So this is about 15 minutes time frame. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Out of these 10, how many are having 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence? Let's verify. In the demand zone confluence, I am enabling the filter. 5 minutes demand zone confluence with 15 minutes demand zone. With this filter, we got 6 stocks. In the fifth one and second one are PRs, so you can ignore them. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone, we got 7 stocks. Out of the 7, let us filter 5 minutes supply zone confluence with 15 minutes supply zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter 5 minutes supply zone confluence with 15 minutes supply zone. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these two 5 minute supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Next, we will look into NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. So let me start with the monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. And also look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. And apply the same rules to the remaining supply demand zone chain reports. The remaining columns you can understand easily. Okay, next. Weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So serial number 26 is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Let me adjust in the center. Okay. So this is about 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. All these are all supply zones. I'm scrolling the list down. The nearest demand zone to the closing price is serial number 39, PR's demand zone. Let me put it in the center. Okay. So this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next we will look into Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but Nifty Bank. So I am generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Okay, this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So with this we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next we will generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. First, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at entry time frame daily. I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement should always be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should always be 12. With all the three, both these filters are applied to daily demand zone. Now let's generate. We got 10 stocks. These 10 daily demand zones, because entry time frame zones are daily demand zones for monthly income trade. And these 10 daily demand zones are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Out of these 10, some of these zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let us filter them based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is a daily and weekly demand zone confluence. So let's filter the stocks. In the demand zone confluence, I am enabling the filter daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. So with this filter, out of 10 stocks, we got 7 stocks. In all these 7 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. Because they are part of weekly, let us check weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also weekly trend is up in all these stocks, ITF trade. So let's filter. In the EMA Confluence at weekly time frame, I am checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. We got 4 stocks. So these 4 daily demand zones are having more high probability to get success. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade based on daily and weekly demand zone confluence and a weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Next, we will filter based on daily, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First one daily with weekly already enabled. Next daily with monthly and weekly with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these daily demand zones overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up. If monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, then the daily demand zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at monthly time frame checking, monthly demand zone is having monthly EMA confluence or not. So both the stocks are filtered. So both these stocks are having even more high probability to get success. And the NIFTY bank is listed in F&O. Okay, this is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at a daily time frame, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhance score 12. With these filters, we got 5 stocks. So these 5 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And entry time frame zones are daily supply zones because they are bearish trade setup. Out of these 5 daily supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? Let us filter them based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is a daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Daily and weekly supply zone confluence. I enabled the filter. With this filter, we got 5 stocks. In these 5, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zone. So if weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, then these daily supply zones are having more probability to get success because weekly trend is also downtrend in all the stocks. Let's verify. The EMA confluence at weekly time frame checking weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. All 4 stocks are filtered. So that means these 4 daily supply zones are having even more high probability to get success. So maybe that is the reason why see the first stock is already tested 2 times. And the 4th one is already tested. That is also twice. Rejections, 2 rejections. Good. Okay, this is based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. That is daily, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily with monthly supply zone confluence. And weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these daily supply zones overlapped with weekly, both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways in both the stocks. So checking monthly supply zone with monthly EMA Confluence does not give any advantage, because EMA Confluence never give any advantage in sideways trend. Only in trending market only you have to use EMA Confluence. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. We have completed monthly income trade reports. Next we will look into weekly income trade. Weekly income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. And also in bullish or bearish trade setup at entry time frame 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. And the zone achievement should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 12. And third filter, 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means the zone is not pierced. Which zone? The zone you selected here. That is 75 minutes demand zone. So let's filter. We got 12 stocks. So these 12 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. And all the entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. Out of these 12 75 minutes demand zones, we can further filter based on the high probability setup supported stocks. That is based on zone confluence. First filter we will use 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. That is LTF, ITF, demand zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. With this filter, the list is come down to 8 stocks. In all these 8 stocks, these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zones. And also daily trend is up in all these stocks. So due to this reason, if any daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, then these 75 minutes demand zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at daily time frame, because 75 minutes demand zone overlapped with daily demand zone. That's why we are checking daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence, because the daily trend is also uptrend. Let's filter. We got 5 stocks. So these 5 75 minutes demand zones are having even more high probability to get success. Okay. Next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. I removed EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First one 75 with daily. Next 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, 75 minute zone is overlapped with the daily. Both together overlapped with weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is up in only one stock. If this stock is having weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence, then this 75 minutes demand zone is having even more high probability to get success. Let us verify if it can be filtered. In the EMA confluence at a weekly time frame, I am checking weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And the trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Let's filter. So that one stock is filtered. Excellent. So this is having even more high probability to get success. So this is about a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And also 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. At 75, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, all the three filters applied to 75 minutes supply zone, we got 6 stocks. These 6 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and all the entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. We have 6 75 minute supply zones are available, supporting bearish trade setup, weekly income trade. Out of these 6 75 minute supply zones, how many are having more high probability to get success? That we will identify based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. I enable the filter. With this filter, out of 6, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in all the stocks. So that is the reason why if daily supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, then the 75 minute supply zone overlapped with daily supply zone are having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at daily time frame, I am checking daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So we got only one stock. So this daily supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. That is the reason why already once it is tested. Okay. Next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. That is 75 minutes daily and weekly supply zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, daily with weekly. Next, daily with, 75 minutes with daily is already enabled. Next, 75 minutes with weekly supply zone confluence. And daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, we got 2 stocks. So these 75 minute supply zones overlapped with daily. Both together again overlapped with the weekly supply zone. And a weekly trend is down in only one stock. If this stock is having weekly supply zone with weekly EMA, this could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, at weekly time frame, we are checking weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. Let us filter. So that one stock is filtered. Excellent. So this is having even more high probability to get success. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. So with this we have completed weekly income trade reports. Next we will generate daily income trade reports. So daily income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is a demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at a 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. And minimum odd enhancer score 12. And also 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. So with these filters, we got 12 stocks. So these 12 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frames are 15 minutes demand zones. The entry time frame 15 minutes and entry zone demand zone. So all these 15 minutes demand zones are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. So out of these 12, there could be some more high probability to get success. We will identify based on the zone confluence. First filter is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So in the demand zone confluence, I am enabling the filter 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With this filter, we got 11 stocks. Out of these 11, these 75 minutes demand zones, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And also 75 minutes trend is up in all these stocks. So if 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence, then these 15 minutes demand zones might be having more probability to get success because they are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone and also having 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. At 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So we got only one stock. So this 15 minutes demand zone is having more high probability to get success. Already it is tested. Okay. So this is about bullish trade setup for daily income trade, but LTF and ITF demand zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, 15 minutes with 75 minutes. Next, 15 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Sorry, it is wrong. 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence and 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence, because in DIT the HTF is daily, not weekly. So that's why HTF confluence should be with the daily demand zone. So with all the 3 filters, that is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily, with all the 3 zone confluence, we got 5 stocks. That means in all the 5 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Again, both together overlapped with daily demand zone. Daily means HTF. So daily trend is up in all the stocks except the second one. So ignore the second one, and remaining 4 stocks, if daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, then those stocks, the 15 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, because 15 minutes overlapped with 75 and also daily. So let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, I am checking daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. At the same time, daily trend should not be sideways. So that's why in the daily I am checking, I am setting the trend as uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. So with these filters, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 75 minutes demand zones are having even more high probability to get success. That is the reason why Jindal Steel already tested. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes, I am selecting bearish because it is bearish trade setup. Entry zone, supply zone. Okay, zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhances score 12. And also 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. So these 6 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. And all these entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zones. Out of these 6 15 minute supply zones, there could be some more high probability trade setup supported supply zones might be available. Let us identify them. So first filter is based on the LTF ITF supply zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. So I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, we got all the 5 stocks. That means in all the 5 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. And also 75-minute trend, ITF trend is down in all the stocks. If the 75-minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, probably those stocks might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am checking. 75 minutes supply zone are having daily EMA confluence. So with this filter, we did not get any stocks. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence supported stocks. 3 filters we have to set. First filter already enabled. Next 15 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters enabled, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with daily supply zone. Daily is HTF, and that means HTF trend, daily trend is down in only one stock. In that stock, if daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, then the 15-minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at daily time frame, I am checking daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. Let us filter. So we did not get the stocks. Okay. That means we don't have any stocks based on the EMA confluence. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, we will look into hourly income trade supported stocks. First, bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone is a demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bullish. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And all the 3 filters and one more filter we have to set. 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 5 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, all 3 filters are applied to 5 minutes demand zone. So now we got 8 stocks. These 8 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. All these are all 5 minutes demand zones. So we have 8 5 minutes demand zones supporting bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Out of these 8, there could be some high probability setup supported zones might be available. Let us filter them based on the zone confluence. First filter is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. So I am enabling that filter 5 minutes with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. With this filter, out of 8 stocks, we got 6 stocks. In these 6 stocks, these 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zones. Okay, fine. And if the 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence because 15 minutes trend is uptrend, then if any stocks filter, those 5 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success. Let's filter. If any stocks we can get, let us verify. 15 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. So one stock is filtered. So the TCS demand zone might be having more high probability to get success compared to the others. Okay, this is hourly income trade, bullish trade setup based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. Next, we will look into LTF, ITF and even HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. LTF, ITF, HTF, that is 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So we need to set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next, 5 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only one stock. So in this stock, this 5 minutes demand zone overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Both together overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. But 75 minutes trend is sideways. So no need to check for 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. It won't give any advantage. Sideways trend EMA confluence never give any advantage. Okay, it is bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame is 5 minutes. Entry zone, supply zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes. I am selecting bearish. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And also 5 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, selecting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 4 stocks. And these 4 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. And all these entry time frame zones are 5 minute supply zones. Out of these 5 minute supply zones, let us check how many are having high probability to get success. Let's verify. First, based on 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence, I'm enabling the filter. So with this filter, out of 4 stocks, we got 2 stocks. So these 5 minute supply zones overlapped with 15 minute supply zone. Okay. If the 15 minute supply zone having, because the trend is downtrend, if 15 minute supply zone having daily EMA, probably they might be having more high probability to get success. At 15 minutes time frame, 15 minutes supply zone with daily EMA confluence. None of them are filtered. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence supported stocks. Remove EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Next 5 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got both the stocks. So these supply zones are overlapped with 15 minute supply zone, and both together again overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. But 75 minutes trend is sideways. So EMA confluence does not give any advantage. Okay. This is about hourly income trade, bearish trade setups. So we have completed all the income trade reports. And final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. Okay, first 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I'm scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want, there pause the video. This is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.